Hello guys, it's Spurs 21 here back with another video for you, and this is my Premier League match review of the North London derby as Spurs put on a really good showing and showed a lot of heart and resilience to come away from the derby with a point away at Arsenal with a 2-2 draw in a game that had pretty much everything to it. This gets straight into the starting lineup. Ange Postecoglou really made one change from last week's dramatic last-minute win against Sheffield United as Brendan Johnson made his full debut for the start from Tottenham Hotspur in place of Manuel Solomon. We've seen before, and then I mentioned it last week, as the real big test for Postecoglou and for this team, for how to give us sort of a gauge of how far along we are at this early point of the season. And initially at the start of the game, the players did look quite nervous, a lot of them. There was a little bit jittery-ness at the back, particularly from a doggy who was constantly under bombardment on his left-hand side. We actually looked competent on the ball, but just couldn't progress it really into the final third of the pitch. So, just the attacks kept, just breaking down before we could get there. We just looked a little bit jittery, a little bit panicky at times, and so also I most of the game, the first 30 minutes-ish. We do consider the first goal when a doggy lets Saka cut in on his left-hand side. Saka shoots towards goal. Romero, I don't even think Romero needed to try to clear it because it was maybe it was going wide. But I think Victoria would have had it covered off. But who's to say on that? But Romero goes to clear it. It goes in. It gets his feet all wrong. It goes in off of his thigh into the back of the net to put us 1-0 down. Then came up one of the first massive moments of the game where Maddison gets caught dillying on the ball right on the edge of our own penalty box. Jesus intercepts it and just blasts it over the crossbar. Luckily for us, if he just side foots it in, instead of going for power, it's probably 2-0, but ironically, that was almost the moment that woke us up, because we started to get to the final third of the pitch eventually. For the last 10 minutes of the half, we started to put our attacks together. We work it well on the right from Porro, who cross floats into the Johnson at the back post, who has a good effort that's saved brilliantly by Raya. However, just before half-time, we do get the equalising goal. Maddison does brilliantly on the left-hand side to, beat Saka. He cuts it back into the penalty box. Heung-Min Son arrives in time and side-foots it in off the inside of the post to make it 1-1. And, it felt like we had a footing in the game there as we went into half-time. Then more drama at the early part of the second half as a corner comes in and it's in a big mouth scramble, huge appeals coming in, and Romero's gone to obviously try and clear the ball, and it's hit his hand kind of. If you remember it's sort of here. If you remember the incident against Man United a few weeks ago, it's in similar, to that, and you may remember that one wasn't given, but this one was. It's just the inconsistency with the decisions that drives you mad. Anyway, also get a penalty. Saka puts it in to make it 2-1. And you're thinking, can we fight back again? Well, 20 seconds later, Maddison robs Jorginho of the ball, drives it into the Arsenal half, scores it to Son, who just slots it into the bottom corner to make it 2-2. An unbelievable response yet again. We have a very good spell there, although Son has a good opportunity for his hat-trick, who goes to try to bit right over the near post and hits the side netting. Then, as the substitutions started happening, Madison, came off. And he had a bit of a scary moment where Watford got stuck in and twisted his whole leg twisted in the wrong direction. It looked a bit nasty. He walked it off for a few minutes, so hopefully he was just taken off as a precautionary measure. We hope, fingers crossed. But it was very apparent when Madison went off that the creative spark of the team wasn't the same. So it sort of became the last 10 minutes of seeing the game out, and also had a couple of decent opportunities. Saka has a shot that Vicario pushes around the post. But overall, we held our ground very well to the end and got to the full-time whistle at 2-2 for an excellent result. So as I said, I think the lads all together did a really, really solid effort there. And, you thought the worst when it went 1-0 because, we didn't start the game well. We've seen us completely capitulate to pieces before, and I mean, if the Madison moment that Jesus fired over, if that goes in, it's 2-0, but they kept their heads going. They didn't, and again, just like I mentioned last week against Sheffield United, there was no point really where we just started pumping long balls and just hoping for something to happen. They kept at it. They just kept playing it out from the back, along the ground, just keeping it, and just didn't deviate from the game plan or from what Ange wants us to do. And, we got rewarded for it. So, that shows, number one, that the manager's faith in the players, and it shows an amazing show of confidence that he's already instilled in them. And I think, us fans, Spurs fans, can walk away from that game feeling very optimistic because, how many times have we disappeared in recent years in these sort of games? The team's just gone, just sit everyone behind the ball and hope for something to happen, and if it doesn't, big deal. We actually went and, try. As I said, we had, nervy moments throughout the game. Particularly early on, we didn't really get started, but, they kept at it, and they showed some heart, some fight, some, wanting to win instead of just sitting hoping for a result. We were still trying to win the game. So, that's wonderful to see, and it's a really very good show of how much we've improved already under Postecoglou. So yeah, altogether, couldn't really have asked for too much more. Obviously, we hope Madison's okay, as well as Brendan Johnson. He had to come off injured as well, so which is a shame. First Premier League starting. Hopefully, it's nothing too serious. We'll have to wait and see, though. Anyway, the big tests keep coming on. We move on to Saturday night, where we host Liverpool, who also have an unbeaten start to the season. So, like us. So it's going to be another big game. A different little style of, game as well, compared to, even from today. But again, the excitement level's still there. And, in the past where we used to go into these games, like Man United earlier in the season, like Arsenal today, like Liverpool next week, previously we go into these games just dreading the worst and just hoping to just close our eyes and hope it ends quickly. We're actually going in there with some, belief, with some optimism, and saying, okay, let's see what we can do here, instead of just, just hoping for the best. Let's go and try and win, and I'm sure they're going to do that again Saturday night against Liverpool. But yeah, altogether, very, very decent. What did you guys make of the game? How much better do you think we looked, compared to previous years against Arsenal? Who stood out for you? Are you confident ahead of Liverpool next week? Leave all of your thoughts as ever goes down in the comment section below. If you're new to this channel, hello, don't forget to click like, share and subscribe and turn the notifications on, that way you'll always know when a new video comes out. Thank you for watching, guys. I've been Best for 21. I will see you soon, and as always, come on you Spurs!